Hello everyone, this is the homework video for Im2 homework number 28. The first full question is asking you to copy the measurements given onto the nets of each solid. So what is this shape? It's a pyramid, and the base shape is how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's hexagonal pyramid. So what measurements are we given? So the base shape is right here. And we're told that the apothem length, the distance from the center to the side, perpendicular distance, is 10.4. So that's going to be my 10.4. What else do we know? We know that the length of the side is 12. So this is going to be 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, all the way around. And likewise here, 12 over here as well. And the perpendicular lateral slant height, not perpendicular, lateral slant height of the pyramid is 18.6. So this, for each of the triangle, this length is 16.6. Okay, so that's what we know. And of course, the length of the triangle, the height of the triangle is going to be 16.6 all the way around. All right, number 2, what shape is this? It's a pyramid with a rectangle base, so it's a rectangular pyramid, and the base width is 54, and then shoulder width is 19, and the lateral height we're told is 24. This height for the broader side is 24. And we're not given this height. We don't know. We're not given. Okay? Number 3, it's a cone. Cone is going to have the radius, the base of the cone is 5. So this length is 5 units. And the slant height is 15.8. That means it's this radius of the sector is 15.8. And then number 4, it's a cylinder. And the base, the radius is 7. So the radius of the top circle and the bottom circle is going to be 7. And what is this length going to be? So it's going to be 2 times pi times 7, which is 14 pi. So this length is going to be 14 pi. What about the height? Height is 12 units here. This is 12. All right, so that's just the net. Okay, now let's go on to surface area of each figure. Number 5, it is a pentagonal prism because we have the top, the base is the pentagon shape. Here's one base and here's the other base. Okay. All right, so what is the surface area? Well, the two bases, the pentagon, area of the pentagon, what is that? Okay, we're given the apothem length of 4.8 kilometers. Do we know the side length? Well, we know that this is a regular pentagon because of these notches all the way around. And it's a prism, so that means this length is also 7 here, 7 here, and 7 here all the way around. So side length is 7. So I can think of drawing a triangle like this. I know this length is 7 and this height of the triangle is 4.8. So area of that little triangle is half times 7 times 4.8. And how many of these little triangles do we have for this pentagon? We're going to have 5. So we need to multiply that by 5. And when I use the calculator, I get 84 kilometers squared. So that's the area of one of the pentagon. Of course, we have two of those that we need to take that into account. What about these rectangles? How many of those rectangles do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 surrounding. But they are going to have the same dimensions because it's a regular pentagon. It is going to have, this length is going to be 7, and the height is 6. So this rectangle's area is 6 times 7 is 42 kilometers squared. So then total surface area is going to be, we're going to have two of the pentagons. So 2 times 84 plus we have 5 of those rectangles. So 2 times 84 plus 5 times 42. So what is that? So 2 times 84 plus 5 times 40. Oops. And when I use the calculator, I get 378 kilometers squared. All right, what about this? Okay, what do we have here? We have the base triangle, and then we have 3 other triangles, right? Now, what do we know? We're told that this length is 11, this length is 11, and this length is 11. So it's a regular triangle or equilateral triangle. And we know that the lateral sides are going to be all congruent because the base is congruent. Okay, so if I think about the base, let's calculate the area of the base first. Okay, the base is going to have the height, the base length of the base triangle is going to be 11 by, what is this length? The height of the triangle is 9.5. So the area of the base triangle is going to be half times base is 11 multiplied by height is 9.5. And when I use the calculator, I get 52.25. Now, what about the lateral sides? We said that the lateral sides are going to be all congruent because the base is going to be congruent and the lateral slant height is also going to be congruent. So the area of lateral triangle, and there just let's calculate it for 1. Okay, for 1 is going to be half times, what's the base of this triangle? It's going to be 11. And what's the height? Height we're told is 12.4. Okay, so then what is the total surface area? Total surface area is going to be, there's only one of the blue base. Okay, so that's going to be 52.25 plus, what about the lateral sides? There are 3 of the identical ones, so it's going to be 3 times 68.2. And when I add them all together, I get 256.85. The unit is yard squared. Okay, so 256.85 yard squared is my final answer. Okay, let's continue. Okay, number 7. Number 7, we have a cylinder. Okay, so we need to let's figure out the area of the 2 bases. Area of the circle is going to be pi r squared. What is radius? Radius, the diameter is 816, so radius is going to be 8. So it's going to be pi times 8 squared. So that's going to be 64 pi miles squared. Okay, so that's the circle. And what about the lateral side that's wrapping around the circle? Well, that's going to be a rectangle, isn't it? And the length, this length, is going to wrap around the circumference. So it's going to be 2 pi r, radius is 8, multiplied by the height of the cylinder is 10. So I'm going to multiply that by 10. And so that's going to be 2 times 8 is 16, times 10 is 160 pi miles squared. Okay, so that means the total surface area, of course there are 2 of those red circles because there's one here and then there's one other there. So it's going to be 2 times 64 pi plus I have to add 160 pi. Okay, so 64 times 2 is 128 plus 160 is, okay, and so when I use the calculator I get 288 pi, which to 2 decimal places 904.32 miles squared. Okay, so then what about the next cone? The surface area of the cone is pi rs plus pi r squared, where r is the radius, s is the slant height. So that's going to be pi times radius is 7 times slant height is 15.7 plus pi times r is 7 squared. And that becomes 109.9 pi plus 49 pi, which is 158.9 pi yard squared. When I use 3.14 as my pi value, I get 498.95 yard squared to 2 decimal places. Alright, so 9, 10, 11, 12 is finding the volume. Okay, finding the volume. What is the volume? What is this shape? Okay, it is a trapezoidal prism. The base is this trapezoid right here. Okay, and you can see that there is this base here, and right parallel on the other side is another base. And we are told that this height of the trapezoid is 6.5. So we first need to find the area of the base. What is the area of the base? What are the 2 different lengths of the parallel side? It's this side, 11 and 6. So we need to take the average of 11 plus 6 divided by 2 and multiply that by height. Height is 6.5. So that's my base. What is my volume going to be? The volume is going to be whatever the base was, then multiply that by what is this length. What is this length here? It's going to be same as this length, which is this length. That's the thickness, and it should be the same all the way around. The thickness should be the same. So 11 plus 6 is 17 divided by 2 is going to be 8.5 multiplied by 6.5, and the thickness is 16. Okay, so and that comes to 884 yard cubed because it's a volume. What about number 10? Well, the base shape is a circle with a radius of 9 meters, so that the base shape is pi r squared. Area of that is, so which is 81 pi. And then to the base area, I need to multiply by the thickness, which is 6 meters. And that thickness is going to be the same all the way around, and that comes to 486 pi meters cubed. Alright, I am just going to do a few more, and the rest you're going to have to do on your own. Okay, I am just going to show you the answers to all the rest of the problems. Of course, with the pyramids and cone, you need to multiply the regular shape related prism or cone by a third.